Yeah, greetings of the day. So on this day, in this video, you're going to learn HTTP servlets, doGet, doPost, doPut, and doDelete methods, followed by sessions and cookies, then followed by servlet context and servlet config. So let's begin this particular video session without much ado. So introduction to HTTP servlet. So generally, a servlet is a server-side programming. So in servlets, we are having two types of servlets. One is called as a generic servlet and the other one is a HTTP servlet. So in the previous video, we executed a program to run a generic servlet program as well as a JSP program. Okay. So now let us concentrate on the HTTP part. So HTTP servlets. Servlets are Java programs that can extend the capability of a server. So we can create the dynamic nature of a page using this. They handle requests and generate dynamic web content. So used in web applications for processing HTTP requests. So this is basic request, that is basic thing that we have in this particular servlet introduction part. So the next one is the doGet method. So we are having four methods. Let us see one by one what are the methods that we have. So the first one is doGet method. It handles HTTP GET request. Typically used to retrieve data from a server. Examples are fetching user details from a database. Request parameters are appended to the URL. So using doGet method, all the parameters we can see on the URL. What is the username? What is the password? What are things that we transmit from one page to another page can be viewed in that particular URL. Okay, where we type like gmail.com, yahoo.com, facebook.com, whatever the parameters are there, if they can transmit it using means that we are using the get method. The next one is post method. doPost method handles HTTP post requests. It is used for sending data to a server. Example, whenever a form is submitted, the data is transmitted either in the form of get method or in the form of post method. So it request parameters are sent in the request body. So more secure compared to get for sensitive data. If you are having sensitive data, then it is more secured because we in doPost method, we don't see the parameters that are passed from one page to another page. They will be stored as a part of header. We are going to transmit the data in the form of packets from one computer to another computer in a network, and that packet will have a header, and that header is not visible to us. In that header, all the parameters are kept. And moreover, the get is having less capability with respect to number of parameters that can be transmitted with respect to post. So post is better because one is we pass the parameters in the header and it is not visible to the person who is sitting adjacent to you what is going in the URL. Okay, but if you are debugging the program, in that case you can keep get method to check what parameters are being passed, etc., etc. So it is compared more secured compared to get for sensitive data. The next one is doPut method. So it handles HTTP put request used for update or replace resources on the server. It request contains data that needs to be updated. Example, updating user profile details. So doPut is mainly used to update. Okay. Next one is doDelete, the last method of this particular HTTP request. It handles HTTP delete request used to remove resources from the server. Examples, deleting a record from a database, not commonly used in HTML forms, but useful in REST APIs. Okay. So the mainly two methods that we use are doGet and doPost. We also have doPut and doDelete, but we don't use them as much as we use doGet and doPost. So let us see the example program on this first, then we'll go to the next slide, that is sessions and cookies. Okay. So now let us see the directory structure. So here we have the servlet app. In that we are creating web.inf, meta.inf, source, and index.html files. So let us create this structure. So if we open Tomcat apps, let us create one folder, new folder. Yeah, new folder. So let us give a name for this folder. So I prefer to give my app on servlet. My app on HTTP servlets. So in this folder, what we are going to do is, so here we have changed my app on HTTP server. HTTP servers. Okay. So in this, we need to create a folder web.inf. So let us create a folder, new folder web.inf. The next one is meta.inf. Then folder meta.inf. Then followed by src on source. So new folder src for creating a Java program. Then we have index.html. Okay. So we'll be having one notepad. Let us save. Let me copy this path. Then save path. So here in double quotes, index.html all files. So you can see here index.html is created. So now let us write the code required for index.html. Okay. So let us start the code. So here we have the initial one is doc type, exclamation HTML, then HTML, I'll increase the font. Yeah. HTML lang is equal to English. Then head. Then you can have, so let me close the head here itself. Slash head. So in this head tag, we can have meta character set. Meta char set is equal to UTF-8. So this is one meta tag that we can use. We can use meta name is equal to viewport. Meta name is equal to viewport. Content is equal to, so we are going to run this particular application on maybe on any kind of device. So we write width is equal to device width, which is one parameter, then initial scale. Initial scale is equal to 1.0, scaling of the particular page or screen with respect to the device that is running that particular server. Then let us give title HTTP Servlet application. So title, then followed by, let us write one script in the head tag itself. So script, you can write text type text by JavaScript. I don't prefer as of now. So slash script. So here what we are going to do is we are going to write a function. Function send request. So send request is a function which will be having some method like get, doPost, doPut, doDelete method. So this is a function. So So in this function, what we are going to do is we are going to just create fetch operation. Fetch. So what we want to fetch? We want to fetch the data from HTTP localhost colon 8080 slash the name of the app. The name of the app that we created is my app on HTTP servlets. My app on HTTP servlet. So you can keep a comma, then global brackets. So here we are going to send the JSON format. So here we write method. So method colon method, then headers. So we pass some headers over here. So the header is one is content type we have. So content type colon, what kind of content it is? It is application by JSON. We are going to pass a JSON file format. Okay. So JSON. So after curly bracket, we'll keep a comma. Then we write body. So I'll start from here. Body. So this body is nothing but a method. Body is a method. That is, if it is not equal to get. If it is not equal to get, means it may be post, put, or delete, whatever it might be, which is not a get method. Then what we need to do, if it is not get method, we need to use JSON dot stringify. There is a method called as JSON dot stringify. So in this stringify method, we are going to pass a message colon. What is the message? Hello from space, then a plus symbol. So it may be whatever it may be method. So this method must be equivalent to this method. Okay, same method. Then we write here colon. So if it is not the case, so this is one conditional operator over here. So if this is the condition, if it is not get, then we need to pass null. Okay. So this is our this line is going to set the body. This line is going to set the body property of a HTTP request. It conditionally includes a JSON payload only if the request method is not get. Okay, so then we have this closing flower bracket. Let me remove this space. Okay, then a parenthesis because we are opening parenthesis over here. So we need to, no, we close it, right? Okay, body. Then we write then after this method, what we need to do, dot them. So here what we write is a response with the arrow symbol. Response is equal to response dot text. We need to convert the response into text format. Then dot, after converting that into response, what we need to do? So data. So data is also a pointer variable or a pointer to document dot get element by ID. So we have a document ID called as a response. So this one we are going to write in HTML code dot after this particular function, inner text is equal to the data that we receive from the Servlet application response as a response. Okay. Then catch, if we get an error, catch. So error, what kind of error it is? So it might be console.error. So in console.error, we pass error, then colon, then we pass comma error, what the error that we received, then a semicolon. Then we have closing of this script. and head. So this response we are going to have in our body part. So this is header part. So now let us write the body part. So body opening, then body closing. So inside the body, we write a h2 tag. Let us close the h2 tag even. Then here test HTTP servlet methods. Okay. Then let us create some buttons that we are passing through get, post, whatever it is. Okay. So button is equal to, sorry, button on click is equal to, we are going to call a method send request. Which is this method? This method, send request. Let me copy this one. So paste it over here to avoid errors. So send the request. So in this we pass get. So one is get, one is post. Then close the tag, then write get, then write button. Close the button tag. So this is one button we have. Apart from this button, we also have 4 buttons. One is get, post, put, delete. Get, post, put, and delete. Okay. So these are the methods that we have inside the body. So after pressing these buttons, we need to display which type of button is being pressed. Okay. So let us write here H3. So let us write a HR tag. One line will be displayed. So after this, let us write H3 tag. Then we write a response colon slash H3. So now we are displaying the response. So in order to display a response, we require a pre tag. So pre ID is equal to the response method that we have taken here, get element by ID response. So copy this response over here. Okay. So whatever the response that we receive from the server will be replaced in this particular tag. Okay. Then close the body, then close the HTML. You have a closing HTML tag. Otherwise, close HTML. So this is our HTML file that we have saved in our working directory. So here we have index.html. When we try to open this file, so it is going to show something like this. It is not going to work because we have not uploaded in Tomcat. Okay. So now let us write the code of Java in SRC. Okay. Let us write the Java code now. So here we need to create the first Java servlet program. So let us copy the path. Copy. So let us open Notepad, file, save as. So paste the path. Then in double quotes, write the file name. So I write my HTTP servlet dot Java. My HTTP servlet dot Java. Save it. Then see whether that file has been created. Yes. My HTTP servlet dot Java file has been created. So now let us write the code in a normal notepad. Okay, normal notepad. So we start with import statements. Then we are going to implement the code that is required to run all the 4 methods: doGet, doPost, doPut, and doDelete methods. So let us do that. Let us start with the required import statements. So here we start with import java.io.exception. Java.io.exception is one class that is required. IO exception, sorry, import java.io exception. Okay. Then we have a method called as print writer. So we write import java dot, sorry, this is java dot io exception. Import java dot io exception. Then we write import java dot io dot print writer. Then we import java dot servlet, sorry, java x dot servlet exception. Then we need to add a web servlet, which is a part of annotation. So import javax dot servlet. We copy this one, annotation dot web servlet. Then again we copy javax dot servlet dot. So here we will be using HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. So servlet dot HTTP dot HTTP servlet. Let me copy this one, HTTP servlet. So copy paste one more time. So we have HTTP servlet, then HTTP servlet request. We also have HTTP servlet response. So these are the required import statements that we have. Then what we are going to do is we are going to write a annotation. So we write at the rate, it is a web servlet program. So we need to specify the path. Okay, so we are going to specify the path like this slash. So we are going to give the name as my HTTP servlet. So this one must match with the XML files URL. Okay, URL pattern that we'll be writing after this program. So then we write the class. So we write here public class final, public class final, not final. Why final? It is not a method. So the name of the file is my HTTP servlet extends HTTP servlet. So this is the class that is going to implement all the methods that are required. So public class my HTTP servlet. This is the name of the file. My HTTP servlet is the name of the file. My HTTP servlet dot Java extends HTTP servlet. So if you are writing generic servlet, write the generic servlet because we are working on HTTP servlet in this particular program. So we write here HTTP servlet. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to write one line. So that line is private static. So we are going to create a final long, private static final long. So we create a variable called as serious version. Is it serious version? Serial version, CRIAL, serial version UID, user ID is equal to 1L. Senior ID is equal to 1L. This line of code is specific. This line of code is specific to Java serialization. It is used in serializable class. It is used in serializable classes, including HTTP servlet, to maintain compatibility between different versions of classes. Between different versions of classes. Then we start writing the four methods. All the four methods are being inherited from the base class called as HTTP servlet. From the base class called as HTTP servlet. So this is the base class. In this base class, we have the methods like doGet, doPost, doDelete, and doPut. So we are going to override these methods that are available in HTTP servlet. In HTTP servlet. So here we write protected void doGet. Protected void doGet. So it is having two parameters. One is HTTP Servlet request REQ, comma HTTP Servlet response RES. So these two are the parameters that we have, and we expect that these throws servlet exception, comma IO exception. These are the two possible exceptions that we can have. So what we are going to do over here is we are going to call a method. So protected void doGet. doGet is already a method that is available in HTTP Servlet class. So we are overriding that one because this is the derived class and this is the base class. In derived class, my HTTP Servlet, we are writing this doGet method. So we are writing here protected. We are writing protected. Then what we are going to do is we are going to write a method. So send response. This method we are about to write. Send response is the method we are going to write. In this, what is the response? So here we have the variable called as res. So we write here res, comma. What you want to display? So we want to display get method invoked, exclamatory mark. So we say that this method was invoked. So this is one function that we have added just now. So like this, we have to add three more functions. One is for doGet, doPost, doPut, and doDelete. So let us change the code. doGet, doPost. So here post method invoked. So doPut, here also put method invoked. Here doDelete. So we write here delete method invoked. Okay. throws. So throws. Throws, servlet exception, and IO exception. So these are the four methods. So in these four methods, we are calling this function. So send a response, two things. So these two things are to be again coded here. So we write here as send a response. Okay. So the response type over here is HTTP servlet response. So we copy HTTP servlet response. HTTP servlet response is one parameter. The second one is string. So this is nothing but a string data type. So we write here string message. Okay. So what is the return type? So it is nothing but a void method, and that too it is a private method. So we write private void send response. Okay. So this is the method that we are going to write now. Private response. Yeah. Okay. Private void response. So in this, what we are going to do is first we are going to write a response dot set content type. Res dot set content type. So we can write here text by HTML. So we are having different types of content types: text by HTML, text by plain, text by JavaScript, text by blob. You can write here HTML, or you can also write plain as your wish. We can write plain or we can write HTML. The next one is print writer class. So here we write print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. So response dot get writer. Now whatever we write with the out variable will be displayed on the screen, okay, as a response. So out dot println. So in this we write whatever we received as a message. So we copy this one over here, we paste the message, then a semicolon. Okay. So this is our Java program that we have. Okay. So after this Java program, what we are going to do is we are going to write the code that is for web.xml. Web.xml. Now where this web.xml is, the web.xml is in webinf. The web.xml is in webinf. So let us open that web.xml file. So tab, yeah. So this program is finished. We saved at 2043. Just a second, is it saved? Yeah, save, good. Then let us come to the top. So here we have web.inf. So here nothing is there. What we are going to do is here in web.inf, we are going to create a folder, new folder called as classes. If you are going to have any library files, now we don't have any library files, but if you want to have, you can create a folder called as lib library. Okay. So here in web.inf, we are going to create a web.xml file. So let me copy the path. Then we go to the notepad, click on plus tab, file, save as. Then we are going to write the path, paste. In double quotes, you are going to write web.xml. Then in the next one, select all files, then click on save. Okay. So now let us come back to web.inf. You can see here we got created with web.xml file and the size is 0 KB. Now let us write the code for web.xml file. So here we write the descriptive of a particular servlet, description of a servlet or descriptive, whatever you call. Okay. So web.xml will be starting with a tag called as servlet tag. Okay, a tag called as servlet tag. So that servlet tag will be having servlet mapping and servlet name and servlet class. Then followed by servlet mapping, which will be having again servlet name and URL pattern. So before that, let us write web app. So here, web app is the starting tag. Okay, web app will be having one XML naming system. NS stands for naming system. XML NS is equal to, we'll be writing one path, HTTP colon double slash. Here we write java.sun.com. Okay, java.sun.com. In that we are having a folder called as XML. In this we are having a folder called as naming space Java double E. Java double E. Then we write version. version is equal to, previously we used to have 1.0, now the version is upgraded to 3.0. Then close the tag. This is the starting tag of our XML. And the closing tag will also be the web app only. So let me copy and paste this tag for you. Web app close. So here we created the web app. In this, we are going to write the first tag inside the web app is servlet. So let me copy and paste this servlet tag slash servlet. Then in this, what we are going to have is, we will be having first thing is called as servlet hyphen name. So this is one tag which will be having opening and closing servlet name. So here, whatever the name you give, that must be unique and that should not have any spaces. So I write ms1, my servlet 1. You can write ms1 or my http servlet 1, mhs1, my http servlet 1. You can give any name, nothing wrong. So this is one tag. Apart from this, in servlet tag, we also have servlet class. Servlet, sorry, this is servlet, okay, servlet hyphen class. So this servlet class will be also having a closing servlet class. So the name of the program that we have written is my HTTP servlet. Okay, so you write here my HTTP servlet. Now, when we compile the program, it is going to generate a my servlet, my HTTP servlet dot class file. We don't write here a dot class. Okay, so this is one tag, servlet tag. The next one is servlet mapping tag. Servlet tag is closed over there. Then we have servlet mapping tag. Servlet mapping. So this servlet mapping also have a closing tag like servlet mapping tag slash. Then in between, again, we'll be having this servlet name. Copy as it is the servlet name such that we don't do any mistake. Okay. So servlet name must be same. Whatever the tag we are writing here and here must match. Both of them must match. That is MHS1 must match with MHS1. So for this class, we are going to write a URL pattern. URL hyphen pattern. So this URL pattern is also having a closing tag slash URL pattern. Okay. So now in between this URL pattern, we are going to write here slash my HTTP servlet. My HTTP servlet. Then save the file. Save the file. So this file is called as the servlet descriptor or deployment descriptor, whatever you call. Web.xml is called as deployment descriptor. Okay. So our code is ready now to be getting compiled. So what we have done here is we have created a web.inf. In that we created a classes lib web.xml. Then we have created meta.inf, index.html, source. So let me save this one. Then let us come back to the folder where we have created this particular structure. So here if you see my HTTP servlet, my app on HTTP servlets is having meta.inf. Here we need to create a meta file. Here we are having source. In the source we are having Java file, .java, 2 KB file is there. So in web.inf, we have created classes folder. It is empty because whatever the program, Java program, when we compile, will be copied here in this folder as a .class file. Then in library, if you want to store any library files, like when you are going to connect to a database, okay, MySQL database. Now that link must be available here. The jar file must be copied over here in the library because we are not connecting to database. This file will be empty. So in web.xml, we are having this, what do you say, descriptor of that particular packet, sorry, app, okay, or a servlet app. Now, what we need to do is we need to compile this particular Java program from source as this one must be copied into .class file. In order to do that, what we need to do is we need to open command prompt cmd. Okay, let us navigate to D drive where our files are there. cd tom cat apps dir cd was the last one, my app on HTTP Servlet CLS. So dir. So we are having all these things. Okay. If you want to see, you can see what is the version of Java. Java hyphen version. So you can see here my version of Java is 23.0.1. Okay. Java version. Now the problem is when we are executing Java on this one and Tomcat version is 9.0. Okay, what we need to do is just open the browser and search for google.com. Now in this google.com, try to type Java version, sorry, Tomcat version compatibility with JDK. Java version compatibility with JDK. When you type this, you will be getting Apache Tomcat. Which version do I want? Now, if we see here, the first table that we can see on the screen is the currently supported versions one. Currently supported versions. What it says, my Apache Tomcat version 9.x. Which version of Java is supported 8 and later? 8 and later. Whereas coming to Tomcat 10, 11 and later. Okay, 11 and later. 11.0.5 is 17 and later. My Tomcat version is 9.0. My Tomcat version running in the system is 9.0. So I need to use 8 in the later versions of JDK. 8 and later versions of JDK. But when we see the version of Java in my system is 23.0, which is much higher than 8.8 and later. Okay, this program is not going to work. What we have to do, I'll show. Just let us try to compile the program. Okay, and see how the var file will be created in order to load that into Tomcat server. Okay, now let us see the steps that are required. The steps that are required to compile this particular program. Okay, so first thing is what we are going to do over here is we are going to set the class path. We are going to set the class path. So what is the line that you are going to write? Set class path is equal to. So set the class path is equal to. So where is the class path? We have Apache Tomcat. Let us open the folder. Just a second. Share screen. So here, let us go to Tomcat apps. Tomcat. This Tomcat apps, we are having Apache Tomcat 9.0. If you don't know how we got this one, just go to the previous video and then come back to this one. So Apache Tomcat. In this, we are having bin. In this bin folder, we are having Apache Tomcat bin servlet, the class for shutdown, startup. Where is this file? Commons, Bootstrap, Catalina, Cypher, Commons, config, daemon, digest, make it, service class path, shutdown, startup, Tomcat 9, Tomcat Julie, Tomcat native tool wrap, version dot hit, version dot hit. So in Apache Tomcat, we have to navigate to library files. So here we are having all the library files required. So here we have servlet api.jar file. Servlet api.jar file. Right click, say properties. So here we are having the path. Copy this path and see the name servlet-api. So copy this one, go to command prompt, class path is equal to paste, control V. Okay, then slash, then come back, copy this servlet API, then paste dot, API dot jar file. Okay, so this is how we write the path. But before this, what we need to do here, class path is equal to dot semicolon. Dot semicolon means whatever the existing path is there, keep it as it is. Dot semicolon. Then what we are going to do, the path of servlet API.jar will be provided. Servlet API.jar will be provided. I hope this is clear. The second thing is either you keep here dot semicolon or you can also write at the last semicolon dot. Semicolon dot. Both are acceptable. Give only one. Okay. So I give here class semicolon and dot. Enter. Now the path is set. The path is set. So what you are going to do here, I'll just show to you. I'm copying this one. Then I am trying to paste this one in the notepad. In the notepad. So here we have notepad. So in this notepad, let us click on plus. So here I'm pasting D Tomcat apps, Apache Tomcat 9.0.2 libraries, let the last semicolon and dot. So this is how we are going to set the class path. Okay. Then we are going to come back to the command prompt. Now, after setting the class path, what you're going to do is you are going to compile the program. You are going to compile the program. So how to compile the program? So here you write Java C. Java C is for compiling. Very good. Nothing new. -D You're going to write minus D, then destination. Minus D means destination. Where you have to keep, we are having a folder called as web-inf. In this web-inf, we are having classes folder. Then give a space. Where is the Java file? In src source folder slash source folder. Then inside source folder, what is the name of the file? My http servlet dot java. If you don't recollect, give a star dot java. Okay. So let us press enter. What happened? Get a writer, print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. Error, unsupported exception, IO exception must be caught in my HTTP servlet. So we got an issue with the HTTP servlet program. So let me share that particular. So my HTTP servlet, here we are having response print writer out is equal to response dot get writer. What it is saying? It is saying it throws IO exception. So here we write throws IOEXCEPTION exception. Let us save this one. Get back to command prompt again. Execute the same command. No issue. Okay. So let me copy this code for you and show it in the notepad. So plus Java C minus D web inf folder. In that we need to copy classes and source my HTTP servlet.java. This is the path of the file. This is the destination path. And minus D represents my destination. So let us see that folder. So let us get back. In Tomcat apps, we are having the folder name as my app on HTTP servlet. Then let us see web-inf. In this, we are having classes. You can see the .class file is generated. So whenever you modify the Java program, you have to recompile the Java program. You have to recompile the Java program. Then what we are going to do, we are going to create a var file. The next step is to create a var file. So let us open our command prompt. So our command prompt is back. So here what we are going to do, CLS, clear the screen. Now here we are going to write the so we are left over with manifest file. Okay. In manifest file, we have to write one file called as manifest.mf. Manifest.mf. So we need to write that manifest file first. Screen. So here we are having classes folder, go back, meta-inf. So here we need to create manifest file, manifest.mf. So let us open this folder, then click on plus, then copy the path, then file, save as, save the path. So here in double quotes, manifest.mf. Save the file with all files, then click on save, manifest.mf file. So here we are going to write only 2 lines of code, not more than that. So here we specify that this is a manifest. Sorry, 1 line of code. No, 2 lines. Yeah, 2 lines. What it is, manifest version. Manifest version 1.0. Manifest version is 1.0. Give a space before 1. This is manifest version. You can also give the M capital. So I prefer to give M capital. You can also keep small, no issue. Manifest. Then we say created by. Who is creating this particular file, var file? You can write Wipro. You can write whatever the company for which you are working. I write here, this is a Java servlet application designed by Ali. designed by Ali. Okay, you can save anything. So these are the two, what do you say, lines of text that we have that we are going to use represent the version as well as the message that you want to give. Okay. Then let us go back to the command prompt. Now we are ready to create the jar file. Sorry, not jar file, var file. So come back to this particular prompt, dtomcat my app on HTTP servlets. Then try to write the code that is the line of text that is jar Java archive. Then -cvfm create verbose file and M stand for manifest. C means create a jar or var file. V means verbose output. F means specify a file name. Then M means that includes the manifest file. Okay, manifest file must be included. So what manifest first create? What you want to create? I want to create my HTTP servlet app dot var file. My HTTP servlet dot var file. So that is create. We need to give verbose file manifest. Okay. Manifest file is available in meta-inf, meta-inf slash meta-inf slash manifest dot mf. The just whatever the file we created. MF after this we need to give a star. Star means whatever the files and folders are there, everything must be considered. All the files and folders in this particular folder called as my app on HTTP servlets, whatever are there. Then press enter. Press enter key. So you can see here added manifest. First manifest file is added, adding index.html, adding meta-inf, everything is got added. Everything got added. So let me copy this particular line of code for you to see it clearly. So I copy this one, then let us open Notepad. So this is the manifest file. So what we have written over there is this line. Jar -cvfm create verbose file manifest. This is the new name, var file, create var file. Use the manifest file and add all the files and subfolders in this manifest var file. So if you see the folder that is having a var file or not, we'll see this now. So in the folder, we are having my app on HTTP Servlet. If you see at the last, you are having the var file. Now, this var file has to be loaded onto the Tomcat server. Okay, Tomcat server. In order to load the Tomcat server, let us start the Tomcat server first. How to start the Tomcat server? We need to open the command prompt. Go to the command prompt. Then here, go to bin. No, my cd dot dot. In Tomcat apps, we are having dir. So you can see here Apache Tomcat is there 9.0.1. Copy this one, then say cls cd Apache Tomcat cd bin dir star s, sorry, cls dir s star. Here you can see startup.bat. Startup.bat file is going to start the Tomcat server. So let us write here startup.bat batch file. So startup.batch file has started execution. Now let us open the browser for us. Open the browser, localhost 8080, go to manager app. So here already I'll remove this one and deploy. So here we are having all the existing applications that are running. So go to the bottom, you can see here var file to deploy. So click on file, then not desktop, we are having webinf. Yeah, this one. Tomcat, my HTTP server app. .var file. Okay, select this one, say open the var file that we have just created, click on deploy. Okay, so if you see here, we got my HTTP servlet app, none specified, we are getting running as false. Try to click on start. What is the error we got? We got fail application at context path, fail encountered exception. So what we need to do? So this is the problem with compatibility. What is compatibility? Now we have seen that the version of Tomcat 9, Apache Tomcat 9 requires 8 and later. What we have? We have a higher end version. Okay. What is that version? Java hyphen version. So what we need to do? We need to download the 8 version. So how to download the 8 version? Just open the browser, click on plus, then type Java, sorry, JDK 8 download press enter. Now you can see here we are having archive download. You select any one, Oracle, from Oracle. Then you can see here we are having the files. Go to Windows because I'm using Windows operating system. On Windows 64, click on JDK 8 and your download starts. I reviewed and accept download. So this starts the download. It is going to ask you login, give your login credentials. Okay. Then once you give your login credentials, it is going to download that particular file. So once you download JDK 8 from any source of your like, then what you are going to do is you need to install the JDK 8. After installing the JDK 8, what you are supposed to do is you need to compile program. Okay. So how to recompile the program? The first thing is you need to delete the .class file. Okay. Delete the .class file. So how to delete the .class file? Go to the folder Tomcat apps. Then in Tomcat apps, we are having my app. Go to webinf. In this, we are having classes. Delete this .class file, the step one. Okay. Then come back. Then delete this my HTTP Servlet app.var file. We are going to again create this one. Okay. In source file, we are having this my HTTP Servlet. Now let us go to this particular command prompt. Then after installing JDK 8.0, WHO Java. So after this, what you are going to do is you are going to compile the program again. Okay. In order to compile the program, what you are going to do is you are going to write something like this: Java C, Java hyphen version. You can see here we are having 23 version. In order to compile the Java with the previous release, we write Java C, then we write minus release space 8. So this is how we are going to downgrade the Java version. Then we give the same thing, web hyphen inf slash classes, then the source slash my http dot java, my http servlet dot java. So what we have given over here, we'll see Java C, oh sorry, src. Okay, we are in Apache Tomcat. We are in the long location. cd dot dot cd dot dot dir cd my app cd. Yeah, here we need to execute this one. Java C minus release. We got 3 warnings. Just ignore the warnings. So copy this one and I'll paste this one on the notepad. So what we have done over here is this one, Java C minus release 8 version minus D means deploy to webinf classes. Then copy this one Java or minus CVFM, same thing. So already we have done this one jar. Yeah, CVFM. Just press enter. So again, it created a WAR file. Go to the folder. So first check whether WebINF is having classes. Yeah, class file is generated. Very good. Now let us get back and see my HTTP server app is created. Yes, app.var is also created. Now let us get back to our Tomcat manager. Already we have this one, my servlet app. Just undeploy this one. So that is lost. Again, go to var file, click on choose, click my HTTP servlet.var, deploy. So you can see here, my HTTP servlet app is already started. We need not click on start. Just click on that particular link. You can see here, we got the output. Test HTTP servlet methods. Click on get. We got get method invoked. Click on post. Post method invoked. Put method invoked. Delete method invoked. Okay. So this program is working with respect to all the four methods related to HTTP servlet.